Good evening, my respected friends. I missed you all when Facebook took me off, but really happy to be back, and thought I'd take a moment or two to speak to you all about my progress and what's happening right now. Tonight I had a very important meeting with someone extremely important, and I will not mention their name because of the radicals that go behind the scene and start to send emails every now and then. Imam Tawhidi is an extremist, don't believe in what he says, be careful. And all of these channels that air me and all these people that invite me, all of them get emails every now and then warning them from me for no reason whatsoever, just trying to paint a false image of myself. That really doesn't work, doesn't really bother me or anyone. With regards to what's going on right now, I had a meeting. I had lots of things to think about. I came to just a nice place where there's water and a harbor. It's completely empty. These are the places that I come to at night just to think. It helps me a lot, just a cup of coffee, and think about what's gonna be my next step. Now I want to say something extremely important, and I want you to know this about me, all of you. Please, and this is something you have to know. You know, during your lives, your daily lives, what you do is you might study, you might go to work, you might meet up with family members, you might meet up with friends on the weekend, you might do all of these things that a normal person would do. And you think of different things throughout the day. You think of your future, you think of your life, you think of everything that's going on. And when I take a look at myself, just to give you an image of how my life is like, this head of mine is full of reform, radicals. What are they doing? What can we do to stop them? What can we do to raise awareness? How do we stop female genital mutilation? How do we stop polygamy? How do we stop child brides? That's the only thing that I think of every single day. Literally every single, that is the only thing. Even family members, like my wife turns around and says, come on man, you're growing white hair already. And it's true. These things honestly eat up our energy. It drains us completely, and this is what we have to go through, and we're not going to stop at all. We're not here complaining. We're here to tell everyone that despite the fact that we are under such serious pressure, we are moving forward, and we're moving forward really fast, rapidly, which is why all of these radicals feel threatened by the fact that Imam Tawhidi is now in a position where he's meeting up with serious officials. None of these regular councils. No. We're taking it to a whole new level. Along with the fact that many of the people who used to meet with me when I was a typical cleric in the field of public relations, they used to meet with me and we had this friendship. These people still see me as someone who can bring about good to society, which means I still have these public relations, which is a good thing. And I'm still making use of my relations from the past, government relations on all levels, not the Australian government yet, and no Islamic governments either. So these relations that I had with ambassadors around the world and so on, we're actually making use of them right now for my organization that's coming up. There's a matter that I'd like to also speak to you about, and that's the issue of how we tackle the threat that's coming into this country, or that already is here. We've got 400 people under watch just in Sydney as literally potential terrorists, and then you've got Hizb ut-Tahrir and so on. There's no one immune to criticism. Let's put it this way. No one is immune to criticism. Everyone gets criticized. Even me. Everyone. Whoever does anything wrong, not suitable, harmful, deserves to be criticized. And that's something that we need to accept. Lately, I've been criticizing Islamic leaders, government leaders, supreme leaders. To me, they're human beings. I treat them as human beings. If you make a mistake, you're going to get criticized. And many of their followers or loyal lovers, they turn around and say, why are you criticizing our leader? Why don't you focus on other things? I'm focusing on Islam. I'm focusing on the religion. I'm focusing on filtering the corruption and radicalization and extremism. But at the same time, it is these supreme leaders who are publishing books that contain fundamentalism, that contain extremism, that contain the text that advocates for radicalization of youth and so on. So I'm doing all of that. I'm doing all of that. But the thing is, there are people who are corrupt, who are pushing the radical agenda, that also need to be criticized. You can't literally criticize a book that teaches beheading without criticizing the author of the book, without criticizing the publisher of the book. This is how you bring awareness to all people. And that's exactly what we're doing. On my page from now on, you're going to see me criticize many people, criticize Islamic leaders, muftis, criticize texts, books, human beings, teachers, imams, anyone that brings a threat to the community, Australian community, either by their ideology or by their teachings, or whatever it be. They deserve to be criticized, and we as a nation deserve someone that can give us awareness about what's happening. Another issue is the issue of moderate Muslims and reformers. Moderate Muslims, including reformers, have good ties with the Muslim community. No way can you actually reform and bring about change to the religion if you're good friends or if you're family with a conservative person. That's not going to happen. A conservative Muslim family will get you kicked out. It literally will. That's exactly what happens. And if you're going to be very close with a Muslim community in a mosque or whatever, they're not going to accept you. And the majority of these Muslims always want to keep their good ties with the mosque, with the Islamic centers, and you can't blame them because that's how they live their lives. Give me a second, sorry. Just people passing by. That's basically what I wanted to say. You'll have people who want to bring change, good imams, but they're tied with the Muslim community. If you're tied with the mosque, in no way can you criticize the mosque. In no way can you call for the closure of radical mosques. Why? Because you're part of the mosque. Yes, you want reform. Yes, you want an academic approach to religion. Yes, you want all of that. But in no way will that come to reality and actually be established if you're going to have good relations with the mosque and you believe that these relations need to be maintained. Therefore, it's going to influence your decisions as a Muslim reformer in the future and with regards to Islam. As for me, there's no such thing as a mosque. There's no such thing as a mosque. There's God's home. And the earth is God's home. And everybody is a walking spiritual being. Believe in what you want to believe. There's no such thing as a building and that we need to die for and give our blood for. None of that nonsense. None of that nonsense. There are places where people want to worship. If people want to turn these places into radical clubs called mosques, if it's a radical club, it deserves to be criticized. It deserves to be shut down. It deserves whatever it deserves. And I believe the nation deserves to also vote on what happens. Now, this is a matter for the councils and so on in the future. As for now, wait for my upcoming announcement. Hopefully we're going to have a announcement back very soon. We've just finished the governing documents. That's exactly what the meeting was about tonight with this important person. It was about the governing document, the constitution for the organization that's coming up. Wait for the big announcement, the logo, everything will come up before the doors actually open. And I'm looking very forward to a meeting with more influential figures that will help us in the progress of this organization. Obviously the police, the people who are concerned will have full information, full details about what's happening. That is one thing I will make sure happens. I'll keep you all updated. As for now, dear radicals, keep in mind, when you're asleep, Imam Tawhidi is awake and working very hard. This is our country, Australia, and it's gonna remain Australian, and we're gonna make sure it remains Australian and no one's gonna change it whatsoever. Have a wonderful night. Trust in this nation, trust in ourselves, and we're gonna bring change to this country. May God bless you all, and thank you very much.